Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the World of Momos podcast. And on today's episode of Reflections and Reactions, I'm going to share some of my reactions and reflect on certain things, as the name suggests, on the things that have happened recently. So I was going to create a video like this on the 28th after the event, but there was a lot of things that happened following it. So I thought I'll just make a video now and sort of cover everything briefly. So, first of all, what happened on um, the 27th? So, I went on the 27th, and like on 1st of June, I elected to remain in the crowd, and I was a bit late, anyways. It was a very jovial crowd, a bit more. I would say double the size as before. Probably it felt even more safe than before, I think so, because a lot of different people came that didn't come before, and it was filled. Yeah, it was filled with so many different people. They all had their own sort of thing, but I saw so many flags, so many British flags, so many, flags that actually belong to these islands, rather than flags of the invaders, so to speak. I met some people who sort of recognized me. So if you're listening, thank you so much for your kind words and your support. I mean, it actually means a lot. I don't know if you realize this, but it actually means a lot, even if there's one or two people who tell me what I'm doing is okay, because, or even tell me to give me some positive criticism that I can actually use, to improve things, because that means that shows to me that you're paying attention to what I'm doing and you want me to do better. That's why you're trying to give me some helpful tips and stuff like that. So it really does give me a lot of encouragement. I do really appreciate it. So thank you so much, whoever came up to me and said hello and whatnot, and showed me some love, basically. Um but what I saw was the tactics of the mainstream media and the government are not going to work anymore, because the moment they started using words like a racist rally or far right rally and stuff, I think so the mass public just is waking up to it, because the videos that they saw on social media and stuff, they could see that it was actually very harmonious. It was actually very a loving environment over there, and we were all different kinds of people joined together under one banner of the Union Jack.
Are standing side by side, fighting for our freedoms. We've come from far and wide.
Because we had the gospel singing, we had the priest saying few words here and there, but it wasn't exclusively Christian, but there was a sense that this is the overriding culture and religion in this country, and everyone was acceptable about it. So all their smears and stuff, they're starting to crumble down. As you would have seen in the various videos I've shown you as well, what the environment was like and what the scale of people was like, and I'm pretty sure the next one is going to be even bigger, bigger and better. But obviously we can only do that if you keep on supporting. With your support we can keep on carrying on doing this, because
What a feeling. Okay? Most hated man in Britain. All your lives didn't work. And the best thing is, we're unifying the people. Exactly what you wanted to stop. You wanted to divide them. You wanted to separate us. So we look divided. Come on.
I think so it needs to be done. A lot of people, I heard a few people say, "Oh, what is the point? What is the point of getting together if you can't make it into a political will or something like that?" But it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight that you just turn your switch on and then you create a political will, right? That only happens when there is a direct threat, that is the apparent threat, like a war or something that actually happens. That's the only time when you get a political will to create itself suddenly, right? And other times when you would want that political will to be created, it will create into something really ugly, because it won't have the cultural evolutionary understanding of within that movement, the evolutionary evolution of that movement, of that thought, that what we actually want, because we haven't decided yet, as British, uh, the whole of the British public, what are the things that we actually want. We haven't articulated them properly. We know what we want instinctively, right? But we haven't articulated it properly. So we need that space first. The reason why we haven't done that is because anyone who tries to do it is labeled a racist or whatnot, or the woke try to get in and try to make their virtue signaling points. So these points never get across, right? So before you create a political will, you have to create an environment, a cultural environment, where people are able to have those conversations, because we are not even having those conversations properly. And once those conversations happen, then people will evolve their thought, uh, about what we actually want and how we can actually achieve it, right? So someone might be saying something that you disagree with at this moment, like even within the cultural movement that we have, the people, the influencers, so to speak, the few of us who are trying to do it. um, our thoughts will evolve as well. The more conversations that we can have around what we can actually achieve, and what is the best way to achieve it, right? So labeling people this and that, even right now, even within this movement, is not a good idea right now. We first need that environment, create that environment, and this is the ambition, as far as I can see it, or as far as I would want it to be, to first create the environment. Once you create an environment where people can freely talk and discourse about certain things, then you can create a political will, because then there will be people, leaders, politicians, or whatever, who are able to stand on those points and be popular enough to win the votes and not be marginalized to the fringe, right? So one of the biggest reasons I think so why people like Reform Party are not joining the moment at the joining the movement, sorry, at the moment, is because they feel like if they do, then they will be marginalized to the fringes, right? Which I think so is wrong, because if they do join, um it will actually open up the field even more. But okay, fine, if you believe that, let them believe that, but that means that we need to create the environment, right? So that they don't feel that anymore, and we can have these serious conversations that we want. Otherwise, the most that we will do, if we get our way, or if we get a part of our way, the most we will do is only fix 1 or 2 or 5% of the problem. We won't be able to fix a whole 100% of the problem.
I would like you all to give each other a hug, and then I want to do 3 cheers for you lot. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Right, listen, we are now a family, a community. That's what we are. We are the people that stand against those that wish to suppress free speech. We are those that stand against those who want to experiment on our children. And we stand against those that try and dismantle everything about our society which our fathers, forefathers and great-grandfathers fought for. And we say no. But here's the bad news. We have to find unity. And when I texted Nigel Farage earlier in the week and I said, Nigel, you're going to turn up? He said, sorry, I can't make it. And I said, in response, I said to him, these are the people that believe in you and these are the people that are going to vote for you. So we have to understand that there is no political solution to this problem. The mass of you, the sea of you all around there, you are the solution to this problem. Each and every one of you.
So this is as far as I see it, and I've hoped that we keep on growing, and this is why it's important for everyone to keep supporting it in whatever way you can. If you can get over there, contribute however much you can. Look, if the money is tight, right? Money is tight for everyone, and I hate asking people for money. As you have seen, even on my own channel, I don't even ask you to join in on my Substack and stuff, which I would really appreciate if you did join the Substack for free. It's kept for free. And if you can, please try to contribute towards something towards it. It's only £3.50 a month, but it helps me keep independent. But I know that the situation is, it's not the same as in America or other countries. We pay higher taxes, and our cost of living is getting very, very high, and a lot of people are struggling. So I hate asking people to contribute at this time. So that's why I always say that, I'm for myself, for personally, for myself, for my Substack and other things, that I want to keep everything as free as possible, and only those people who are able to contribute a bit, please do, so that I can keep on, you know doing all of these things for free, but also in the meantime maintaining myself and trying to build towards my own independence. As you can imagine, my workplace has a lot of issues with what I'm saying. But coming back to the movement, this is why it's important. Everyone who can, we don't need every single person to contribute as well. People who can, don't stretch yourself too much. People who can, keep on contributing towards this movement, because so that we can keep on doing these things like that, and we can build on these things, and we can do more things. The more things that you actually want us to do, then we can do it, right? uh, hopefully we can do it. But anyways, I think so it was a huge success, and I think so a lot of people in the government got scared of what they saw, the power of the people when they come together undivided. They saw different people from different races and different ethnicities, or different religions and stuff, also coming together for a singular cause. That scares like two main kind of people, right? One is the totalitarians in power currently, and the one who are hardliners, right? Like the hardline communists, the really far leftists, right? Because they don't want to see unity, they want to see us divided, so they can bring their version of totalitarianism into this country. And the other ones would be the extreme ethno-nationalists, because they don't want people to see come together undivided, towards a common cause, because they want to see their version of authoritarian totalitarianism, like, what the fascists are supposed to be like, right? Both on the far left and the far right. So there's these two set of people that are afraid of people coming together, those who are already in power and are totalitarian in their mentality, and those who are waiting in the fringes to become the government, right? Have their form of the government. So this hate seeing these things, but this is why we must keep on going. This is why we would like you to keep on supporting us, to keep with us. We're trying to build something, and this something might be the saving grace that we need, because what we don't want is the country to descend into civil war, huge civil unrest, because it won't be red and green, or red and blue, so, lines. When this happens, it's going to happen in multiple sectarian sort of ways, and it's going to be incredibly destructive. It won't happen everywhere, but it doesn't need to happen everywhere for it to be destructive for the country, and for the culture of the country, and for the future of the country. It only needs to happen in little pockets, and that would be enough for it to happen. Anyways, that was long enough. Moving on from that, what happened was Tommy Robinson got arrested, right? He got arrested on terrorism charges. Now, just imagine that.
Look in the camera. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So, earlier on, Tommy was arrested, not for contempt, but on terrorism charges.
Exactly.
What's that all about?
We think what they're doing is they're trying to hold him, and then drag him into court. This is what I think they're going to try and hold him, drag him into court on Monday and send him to prison for 2 years. Now, there could be something even more sinister going on. What this is not to do with these local police officers, by the way. This is to do with the deep state. This is what we're fighting against. We're fighting against powers and principality. Very, very deep and dark forces here. So this is the security services. This is coming straight from Downing Street. This is coming from Yvette Cooper. That's where this is coming from. It's not coming from the local plod. It's coming from very, very high up. Yesterday was a fantastic success. They tried to sabotage our demonstration yesterday, our event yesterday. They had a guy walk past it with a Palestinian flag. All the stewards and the security calmed everything down. None of that got covered on the mainstream media. All that the mainstream media covered was a man running up the road holding a Palestinian flag. He was breaking his police conditions. Was he arrested? No, he wasn't. Exactly. Have they arrested Tommy for doing a demonstration to unite the kingdom? Yes, they have. Is that wrong? Do we want Tommy out? Are we going to stay here until we get Tommy out?
Tell me something. People are saying that Tommy has sacrificed his freedom for the movement. Do you believe that's the case?
No, I believe Tommy has sacrificed his freedom for the whole country, not just for the movement. He has sacrificed his freedom for every single person standing here. That's what Tommy has done time and time again. And I stood in Speaker's Corner in 2018.
Remember it?
Yeah. And Tommy Robinson had been arrested exactly the same circumstances. He'd done a fantastic, peaceful demonstration. Tommy's about uniting the kingdom, not dividing it. We're about uniting the kingdom and not dividing it. We're not here for violence or aggression. We're here to promote a peaceful, loving, kind, united kingdom where everyone stands together. And those scum in Downing Street, they play the identity politics game. They want to divide us.
The terrorism charges. And why did they do that? Well, the Terrorism Act of 2000 gives them these powers, right? So that the person that they're questioning cannot remain silent. They don't have the right to remain silent, so they can ask them the questions. Obviously, they want his phone and stuff, and they know he's not gonna give his phone up or give his any digital equipment up, or the access to it, right? Obviously they want it because they want to create this this scare, right, this fear in people who are connected with Tommy Robinson, people who are coming together, people who are messaging him in private but not openly saying it yet, right? That's the main aim, right? To scare them off so that they feel afraid of coming out. They feel afraid of coming out of their closet and joining us in the movement. That was the main objective of that. Mark my words, that was the main objective of that, so that people, we get less and less influential people, because they can see like more and more influential people are coming out, more and more people are getting courageous. They want to join the movement. They understand what the reasons are. We showed the movie was showed, right? The documentary, and everyone saw in the documentary what what's actually happening within our councils and police services and so on, and courts, right? How corrupt we have become.
The documentary you're about to watch is the most important documentary I've ever made. This story is far bigger than Tommy Robinson. This is about the weaponisation and the politicisation of these buildings, court buildings across the West. The Royal Courts of Justice, ironically named. These buildings have been weaponised and used against members of the public to destroy them if they speak out. From Donald Trump to Steve Bannon to Geert Wilders to Marie Le Pen to Katie Hopkins. That's what's happening. My job as a journalist, I stand for freedom of speech, I stand for freedom of the press. And I failed, because 3 years ago when I lost a court case in here, and they bankrupted me to the tune of £1.6 million on a documentary, you're going to see the entire story was a lie, okay? I failed because I should have come out of court and I should have played you that film. Why didn't I play you that film? Because I was given a gagging order by this building, by this judge. I was silenced, and I allowed them to silence me because I was scared. I was scared of 2 years in prison. I was scared of the effect that solitary confinement for that length of time would have on me. I was scared of jihadi gangs in jail, and I was scared of the effect it would have on my family. I failed me and I failed you. I'm not going to fail myself again. The news is how we find out what's happening in the world. It's how we form our opinions. Opinions based on facts. That's the key. Facts. Facts should be delivered to you by journalists based on the truth. But what if what they're delivering you isn't the truth? What if it's stories that are manipulated to make you think a certain way, to follow a certain narrative, different people's agendas? And what do they do to those who go against that mainstream narrative, those who try to expose the truth? This is a documentary about the lengths they will go to shut down and silence anyone from bringing you, the British public, the truth.
I lost my job over this. Non-disclosure agreements.
He's a nasty little piece of shit. Swung the hockey stick over his head and hit me in the spine with it.
Well, it's all baby.
This kid was out unconscious already. That's just malicious.
I'm not standing, you're not going, but no, because what yous are doing, I know what yous are doing.
Tommy, I am gonna mince your kids, mate.
So they were scared. They were scared that more and more influential people are going to join in, right? There's a lot more people that we are trying to call out, we're trying to say, and they do talk with people like Tommy Robinson behind closed doors, right? But they just aren't able to cross that line. And this was a moment that they used to create that, because they knew they had nothing, right? Come on, he's not a terrorist. We have like what, 40,000 people on 50,000 people on MI5 terrorist watch. Not one of them is deported, and you think Tommy Robinson is a problem? Come on, give me a break. Okay, this was just a fair tactic that they have used to scare him off. Not to scare him off, but actually to scare off everyone who was trying to connect and who was trying to come out. What I would say to them, this should actually embolden you even more, because if this scares you and you think, okay, oh, maybe there's something wrong, oh, I'm not going to come out because I'm going to be labeled as that as well, or not, like, you're going to be labeled as that no matter what. Okay, seeking truth has become now a terrorist act, so you are going to be labeled that eventually. It only matters if you're going to be labeled that now or later. If you do it yourself, right, if you come out yourself, you have more control of the narrative. So stop being scared, stop being afraid of what they label you as. They have nothing against you, and they're going to use the same terrorist act against you to bend you to their will. So if you're okay for doing that, if you're okay being a slave to others, if you're okay for having others think what others make you think what they want you to think, if you're okay with that mentality, then it's fine. Okay, don't come out, stay there, but if you're not, then this is the time. This is the time that you actually show more support, because you have seen now your government, and it's not just your government, it's all the institutions being the actual fascists that they are. And we must rise against them. We must come out. We must not be afraid. So I'll play this the shortened version of the audio recording, the conversation that Tommy Robinson had with his ex-wife while he was being detained, which shows you what actually happened, right?
Yeah, what's going on?
So, I've been arrested under the Terrorism Act. This is so that an examining officer can exercise his or her powers under the schedule for the purpose either of determining whether you appear to be a person who is or who has been concerned in the commission, preparation or instigation of acts of terrorism. So, that's what they nicked me under, so that they can nick me.
What are you meant to have done?
Nothing, you know. They don't. So after reading me out that, he said, "We know you haven't done any of that." So I said, "So why am I here?" They interviewed me for 6 fucking hours. 6 hours about yesterday, about the event, about whether I think I can stop the Great Replacement, about Israel. Well, what about a Palestinian state? It's fucking. And I said, like, because you don't have a right to remain silent, yeah? You do not have a right to remain silent. So.
Have you had a solicitor?
What's that?
Have you got a solicitor there?
Yeah, it doesn't matter with the solicitor, because under this terrorism legislation, you don't have a right to remain silent. So if you don't answer their questions, you break the law, yeah? So it got to then the point of what this has been about. They said, you need to give us the PIN code to your phone now. So I obviously said, I read all their stuff when they grabbed me, and it says, Basically, an examining officer may not ask a question where they have reasonable grounds to believe that the answer to the question would require you to disclose or confirm the identity of a source of journalistic information or disclose information subject to legal privilege. So what I said to them, I said, listen, your top judge, the film that I found yesterday, yeah, which I believe this is what's triggered this, yeah, the film that I found yesterday, I'm appealing that case. I'm going, and this is legally privileged information, because that judge fell out with his own dad before my case. Yeah, so and that's new evidence. So he should have excused himself, and he didn't. Now you want access to my phone, do you? Which has every single bit of my legal stuff on it, so that you can. And also, not just that, I'm a journalist. And I interview, and I've dealt with, I'm pre-working on another episode in Telford that involves a Labour MP. Yeah. So I can't. When I sit down and girls tell me their stories, they tell me because they don't trust you. They don't trust you because you fucking hid the evidence in Rotherham. You let them down in every town and city, and now you want me to give you what they've told me. I said in confidence. I said it's just not happening. It's not happening. They've charged me, Jen, under the Terrorism Act.
So what's going to happen now?
I'm waiting. I'm getting charged, so I don't know.
Will you get bail?
I hope I get bail, Jen.
So now you can actually watch the full version of this. I think I'll put the link somewhere in the description or above or somewhere like that. It's on his Twitter feed, anyways. So um, the thing that obviously followed that was they gave him bail, right, unconditional bail, as far as I know, and the court date was delayed, so he just went away as his holiday was planned. As the full version of that video audio recording will tell you. But what the media started portraying, including the home of free speech, GB News, right, straight away. Oh, Tommy Robinson had fled the country. Oh, he's a fugitive, and an arrest warrant has been, given out by the judge. Blah 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 blah. Nothing of that sort happened. He didn't flee the country. There was no condition on him to stay. He doesn't live over here permanently. And we all know why he doesn't live over here, because he has credible threats against him, and because the government, through these ridiculous acts, have made it impossible for him to live over here. Right? So he just went back to where he lives, and he's gone on holiday with his family. He's not a fugitive, and there has been no arrest warrant against him. So, but it doesn't have to be true, right? This is journalism now. Journalism has finally completely molded into being a propaganda. They are not journalists anymore, they are propagandists now, right? It doesn't matter if it's true. It only matters if you get it out first. If you get it out first, you get that impression. They know that people are not bothered, and this is your fault, by the way. Every single member of the public, this is your fault. You are too lazy. You have become too lazy not to investigate further into the story. Now more and more people are waking up, but there's still people who are still lazy, and it's our responsibility to wake them up. Tell them, hey, stop believing these lies. Investigate a bit more, research a bit more when something comes out. Hold on to the story. Don't start reacting straight away. Hold on and see what actually happens, because they're not telling us the truth for a reason. They tell us certain things as a matter of propaganda, what they want us to believe. What they do is they give out the information how they want to structure the narrative that is going to follow, regardless of the facts, right? So that's why they give you a little bit of information at the first, limited information, and they've already built, from that first impression, they've already built the narrative that they're going to take, and they already have grabbed your attention. Not just grabbed your attention, but they have made your mindset. They've already set your mindset up of which route they're going to take you on. So you need to get a bit sharp about this. So, and following on to that, what happened then? Right, as usual, these attacks are getting more and more worrisome now. Like this attack on murdering kids, murdering kids. Like it's horrible. It's horrible. It was horrible watching those some of those pictures as well.
I feel sick. Don't know if you guys can hear all like the sirens and stuff, but it's literally like a few houses down from me. I don't know if it's at that heart space, where we did the pole dancing. It's down there. Apparently there's like a holiday club, like a daycare, and someone's just gone in and stabbed all the kids, and there was just like kids running around, like Lucas age, just fucking coming out onto the street covered in blood. Um, all the mums running down the road screaming. I literally just went outside to be nosy. I was just fucking seeing everything. There's like a little girl dead in the road. I feel sick. Like, literally a few houses down from me and someone's just gone in, just fucking stabbing kids. Like, who does that?
And this is going to boil a lot of people's bloods, because obviously it's meant to. That's the whole reason, right? It's not mental illness. This is what they want, right? They want to create chaos. A soldier was stabbed, kids are stabbed just few days after Anjum Chowdhury has been put in jail, right? Right? You think it's a coincidence? Do you not think that they want to create this chaos? Whoever, it might not be directly Islamist, it might be other people involved or whatever. I'm pretty sure it is Islamist though, but it might be other people involved, it might be communist pockets involved, whatever. They will just use that situation, right? They'll use that situation to create chaos. Why do they want chaos? Because in chaos is where they will gain advantage. They don't want to take over everything, they want to take over pockets, and then from those pockets they will take over everything, right? That's their mentality. So but I feel really sad for, obviously, I'm pretty sure everyone does, for the parents of those kids. I don't know what people might be thinking. I've seen some posts as well, people saying, "Okay, I've had enough. I'm getting out of the country." I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But the thing is, like, if you are the same sort of people who are saying that, but are the same people who didn't get involved in how your country is being governed, just listen to the government and got your jabs like a good little boy and good little girl, so that you can go on holidays and whatnot, right? And now you're saying the country is in shit, and the only solution is to leave. I'm sorry, but it's your uninvolvement, it's your laziness that has emboldened them to come up to this point now. you know so maybe instead of leaving, you can also get involved a bit more, you can also awaken a bit more. And yeah, it's not a direct war or anything, but even if you leave, why not contribute to the people who are actually trying to do something, right? Help in some way. Don't just like zone out, because it's your uninvolvement, it's your laziness, it's your just delving into indulging yourself into your own self-interest and desires, and not looking beyond your selfish desires yourself, not looking after your community, not understanding, not trying to protect the rights of others you may or may not agree with. These are all the reasons why this has happened, because you have left your culture, you have left your churches empty, you have given up on your personal and social responsibilities. So the solution is not just to leave, the solution is to assume those responsibilities and see where it takes you first. But anyways, now I'm both angry and sad, to be honest, so I don't really know how to articulate this problem, but it is a problem, and it just makes me really sad. But I just hope out of this, we don't just turn the other cheek now. I think so. We need to do something. We need to make sure that people understand. On that event on the 27th of July, I think so. The two most significant speeches, they were all really good, but I think so. The two most significant speeches was one of the veteran during the start of the rally of the event. I think so. That was very significant and that was very important. I think so. You know, that really cheered people up and that really gave that sense of what we're actually dealing with. You know, I think so. That was very important. And the second speech for me personally, that was really really important was actually the 5 minutes of Richard Inman. That said a lot. You know, that said my own feelings a lot out loud. And yeah, with what things are to come, I think so. Those two speeches are very significant. Take it for whatever that means, but I think so. For what is to come, those two speeches are very huge signifiers, very important. It's not about like it's not about ethnicities, right? Because a lot of people are not going to articulate it properly as well. It's not just about things like that. It's about ideology. It's about a totalitarian ideology that has taken hold of these people, right? And it's making them do these things. But we need to get serious about it. The threat of communism in Islam, it needs to be dealt with, because one of them is going to destroy us, or they're going to destroy each other in the process of destroying us. But we still going to be destroyed. The idea of the West is going to be destroyed in the middle, and there's going to be a lot of suffering. And look at what else is happened as well, like that the stomping of the head at Manchester Airport. You could see how that was laid out, and even I said, that stomping. Perhaps it was a bit too much, the kicking of the head and stuff like that, but because it's how they gave out the first sort of information for you to build your for them to build their narrative and for you to build your emotions towards it, right? So but when actually we saw what had what had happened before, leading up to that point, and felt more than justified to do so, to subdue those thugs at the airport. But it doesn't matter. Truth doesn't matter, right? But even within that, if people are interested in my thoughts about that, even within that, what I was saying wasn't that the police was not right to subdue the people in by whatever means necessary. It's more that maybe we should not lose ourselves into the moments, and maybe we should not lose our souls, or rather corrupt our souls in the process of dealing with certain enemies, right? You don't want to become barbarians while trying to deal with barbarians. But there are many other incidences that are happening as well, many other things that have happened as well. And it's a matter of it's just building up these sort of things. Like probably heard the news of that imam, or whatever, that hate preacher trying to buy an island in Scotland. What is he gonna do? Make it into a, like, a Sharia Islamist caliphate in Scotland? It's just one thing after the other. I mean, they are not going to stop, and that's the thing. They are not going to stop. So unless we put a stop to it, if the suffering is coming, there's no way of avoiding it. But as long as we know that we're suffering for the right things, then the suffering can be bearable. As long as we know that our suffering is going to achieve something, then it's going to be bearable. And our suffering is not going to achieve anything unless we gather and understand and articulate what we actually want. Anyways, as I said, like this makes me very angry, because the stabbing of a soldier is a sign. The stabbing of children is a sign to use. This acid attacks, somewhere I've heard, you know What's happened? What's happened to us? What's happened to this country? The time to wake up is now. And you know what? Just following orders doesn't work anymore. We all have responsibilities, we all have mortgages, we all have families. But what is the point of having any of those things if you do not have a nation to have them in? Right? Your own home, your own family, yeah, your own mortgage is not your island, right? It's within this island. So if things goes wrong, they're gonna affect you as well. What are you trying to protect? What are you trying to protect behind your anonymity? It's time to it's seriously, it's time to come out now. It's time to stop being afraid, being labeled. And you can see that what's happening in Venezuela, right? So there's some I don't know where it leads to, uh, but it's a strong point to see. Whatever the circumstances, whatever the consequences of it might be, but you can see these I'll show you this video, this police officer now, and this on this point and on this video, these police officers taking off their police uniforms and standing with the public now against the communist totalitarianism, this regime, right? The only way to defeat the fascist totalitarians, and these are the people have, they might speak nicer words, might speak softer words, these woke far leftists, but they are the fascists that they pretend to fight against. The only way to defeat that is for the just following orders crowd to stop following orders, because without them they have no power. They can enact whatever laws they want, they can create whatever policies they want, they can put into force whatever legislation they want, but it will have no effect if they don't have the people to make us do it. Those are the just following orders crowd: the police officers, the council workers, the civil servants, the other people in the public institutions, other institutions, the just following orders crowd. Oh, I was just doing my part. Well, it's time. It's time you actually start doing your part to the public, rather to the ideology that is making slaves of the public. Thank you for listening.